powerful. And you know what? I was checking my bin for my shirts, and I didn't have an extra large. I had a medium. That wouldn't fit. So, but I want to get you one. I will get you one. So,
sure.
Yeah, because it's actually a really cool logo. So, we are here with Michael, and I stopped by your booth because I saw all this, which I told you I was a huge fan of Back to the Future.
Yes, you did.
Then you stumped me as you asked me a question. So I found out I'm not as big of a Back to the Future fan as I should be. But he told me I need to get his book. So came back over here, and I want to talk to you about not only about obviously the book, but everything you've done, because what was that famous line that you had in Back to the Future 3?
Well, in Back to the Future 3, I play the renowned character of Townsman Number 1.
So he had a great name.
Memorable line in the movie is, "Say good morning, Mr. Eastwood." So there you have it.
That is your claim to fame. You are.
That's a claim to fame.
It's a claim to fame.
I have a little more.
You have a lot. You got a lot more than just that. But that is awesome that you got to actually get on the set.
Totally awesome. Well, I was on the set of both parts 2 and 3 every day because I was the publicist on the films.
Okay.
While they were being made.
Wow, that's awesome.
So, just being part of the behind the scenes was cool enough, but then to get to play a cowboy was the icing on the cake.
Well, I mean, you think about it, like most of us guys growing up or as kids, we like playing cowboys and Indians. You actually got to play a cowboy.
I did,
and which is awesome. Well, and you looked amazing in it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I went to the producer, Mr. Gale, who was the co-writer and creator, and I said, I want to be a cowboy. And he said, well, let me ask the director. So he went to Mr. Zemeckis, and Mr. Zemeckis said, yeah, I guess. It took a lot of coaxing.
That's a great way to get into a movie. Yeah, I guess.
Hey, at least he didn't say no.
That's true. He could have just been like,
he could have said no, and you're fired.
For asking that question, yeah.
That's right.
So let's go back. And how did you get involved in all this? And also, then we'll move into the book, because obviously that's what we're here.
Okay. Well, I've been what's referred to as a unit publicist for many years, and that's the person who's on the set dealing with the media or trying to avoid the media, or working with the still photographer on the set, interviewing the actors, the filmmakers, putting together the materials that would later be released to the media, which is called a press kit.
Yeah.
So I put that together and also work with the actors on getting their photos approved and just a lot of different functions on a film set. And I started on a wonderful Wes Craven film called Swamp Thing.
Oh my gosh, I remember that movie.
With Adrienne Barbeau and Louis Jourdan. That was my first movie. And then started to get others. One of the films I worked on was called The Dream Team. That starred Michael Keaton and Christopher Lloyd. That's where I met Chris for the first time.
Nice.
He and I got to be friendly, and at the end of the movie, when you're on production, you're always saying to people, what are you doing next? Because you're looking for a job.
Yeah.
and Chris told me he was about to go play Doc Brown again in Back to the Future 2, and he generously asked if I would like him to give me a reference and call the director and recommend me.
Oh, nice.
And he did. And there I was a couple of months later. I was in Hill Valley in 1955 with Doc and Marty.
That's
and it was amazing. And then Back to the Future 2 became Back to the Future 2 and 3. So I was on those films for the better part of a year, which is not a bad way to start.
Yeah, no.
Spend a year.
Exactly. I mean, to be a part of something that was already really huge with the first Back to the Future, which is It was an amazing movie.
Absolutely.
And I do go back to it quite a bit. And of course, if you watch one, you can't just watch one. You got to watch them all.
Absolutely, that's the law.
Yeah, exactly. When it comes to most trilogies, but that one in particular, I got to keep going because I love these movies. Now, when you got pulled onto it, it was a dream.
Yes.
Because it was just like, were you already a huge fan of Back to the Future at that point? Or was it like, that was a great movie, I'd love to work on it?
Oh, I was a fan. Can you stop for 1 second? Can we stop for 1 second?
Sure. Yeah.
This guy.
All right, so we're stopping just for a second. But
This is the producer of Swamp Thing.
oh my God.
Among many other things. A few Batman movies here and there.
Oh, really? I don't.
Yeah.
Batman? What's that?
I don't know. Somebody just stuck all this stuff all over me. I don't know where it came from.
We just mentioned Swamp Thing.
That's
And-
great.
I actually was a fan of that movie as a kid. I watched it when I was little, when I shouldn't have watched it. But my dad was like, "Hey, you watch whatever you want." Swamp Thing was one of the movies I saw, and I was like, "I love this movie."
All right. So do we have 5 minutes?
We have as much time as you guys want.
We're two of the surviving people that were there this night. It was the night we were blowing up our main set
Oh my God.
in the swamp,
Okay.
which was a wooden church with a secret laboratory inside it. Tony Caesar was our stuntman, and we were going to set Tony on fire. He was Alec Holland, who would then have to run on fire through this lab, burst out of the church, drop to the ground, run 20 yards off a narrow wooden dock
Into
into
the water.
the swamp.
Yes.
And Tony did not use an asbestos suit.
Oh my
He and his partner invented a gel, and they coated him in this gel,
Okay.
and then they would put the lighter fluid on top of it. And he had, as Tony used to say, approximately 60 seconds before it burned through the gel onto his skin. So he was going to do this with the fire all over his bare skin and everything. But the problem is, in order to do it, he has to keep his eyes closed and gel his lids. So he has to do this whole stunt completely blind. So that day he was practicing, running back and forth, going through this. So again, he's going to catch fire in the lab. He's got to go up a set of steps, and he slips. Remember, his left foot goes
Yes,
out.
I do.
Go through a hallway, burst through the doors onto a balcony, crash through a railing, land. If he lands here, he's okay. If he lands here or here, he's screwed. Then he has to run 20 yards onto a narrow wooden dock and into the swamp. We have all the cameras. There's no take two. And Wes Craven is in charge of this. He and I are with Wes's girlfriend at the time, later to become his wife. We have paramedics, the Red Cross, police, the city of Charleston, South Carolina, was afraid we would burn down their Cypress Gardens, so they had fire engines there. And we light Tony on fire. And he's been practicing all day. Everybody's got their fingers crossed. Nobody's allowed to say anything until Wes goes cut. And there was a problem.
Oh my gosh.
The special effects team put too much of the lighter fluid on him. So he gets lit. And you see him stagger up the steps. You'll see his left foot go out. He gets back on, goes straight through, and as he bursts through the door of the church, he novas. It's an explosion of flame. It goes boom, and we don't know if he's dead or alive or what just happened. And he crashes through, and he's running, and nobody can say anything. And you feel the heat just burning your skin. Jumps into the swamp, waiting for Wes, and he goes, cut, and the whole stunt team jumps into the swamp, and we're waiting, and they yell out, he's okay. It was, to this day, the most exciting, memorable experience I ever had in this industry in 50 years.
Oh my God.
In fact, I believe I captured it on a very primitive video camera at the time.
Do you have that?
somewhere, someplace.
We should dig that out.
I should, yes.
That's probably valuable footage.
Yeah.
But
For-
it was amazing.
That's just
So
that's
I was with Mimi. We just talked about this at Indiana University 3 weeks ago, and we are really three of the last ones standing there, except for Adrian and Ray. The cast is gone.
Well, yeah, Ray I've seen. Ray Wise, who has been in everything, and you know him immediately.
yeah.
Who played the human incarnation of Dr. Holland
Mhm.
in Swamp Thing. Adrian Marbeau is still around. And who else?
Everyone else is gone.
That's it, huh? Wow.
So I got legends right here with me.
Now you should see him in snake boots.
Snake boots.
Yeah, because when you're filming in Charleston, South Carolina in the swamps, there's snakes around. And they tell you to wear snake guards.
Which are cottonmouths, copperheads, rattlesnakes, and coral snakes. And at the time we shot, there was no cure for the bite of a coral snake.
Oh my gosh.
We had guys with guns on the set. Everything was great and then early June, all the alligators came out and they scared the snakes away. So that was a big relief.
Because for my first movie on location, I thought, oh, this will be fun. I grew up in Brooklyn. Snakes were not my favorite thing. Well before Indiana Jones. And I found myself having to walk from the trailers to the set, which is about half a mile, in this wooden swamp. It's trees are felled, and I'm walking. It probably took me around 3 times the amount of wood to walk because I was looking everywhere just to make sure there was nothing in my way or over my head or.
So I don't understand why. I had him in a real swamp with snakes and alligators on $1.9 million budget. And then he goes off to do Back to the Future. I mean, really, what's the point?
I know. Once you've got that done, I mean,
Excuse me, Mr. I went from the $1.9 million budget to Batman.
No, excuse me. I just went from snakes and alligators to bats.
Oh,
That's all I did.
a little more expensive bats.
yeah, big bats.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Couldn't have done it without him.
Well, I would love to
Yeah.
come over to where you're at and maybe do a little bit more and talk about Batman with you.
Only if he's there.
Only if he's there.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well, then I might have to do it over here if you're available to do that. To talk more, but
Are you going to pay what I lose in business?
oh yeah,
Oh,
let me
see? There you go.
let me get out of the way too. Let me get him, or actually, let me come around and as he's doing his business. Okay. All right.
We're due here in 5 minutes.
Well, you know what? It was honestly a pleasure to meet you.
Thanks.
And Batman, '89. That's my Batman.
Awesome.
Greatest Batman ever.
Awesome.
I gotta say that, not just because you're standing here, but the truth. It was.
Much
So,
appreciated. Let's not forget.
thank you, Bill. Bill Finger. All right, let me get out of the way so. All right, let's get out of the way so Michael doesn't lose any business. But 2 legends, not just 1, just 2, that I'm here with. Producer, Batman '89, which of course you guys all know, that's like the best Batman because it's my Batman. And then we're going to get back to talking to Michael more about Back to the Future. But that story that he just told was freaking amazing. And Swamp Thing was another movie that I really loved watching as a kid, even though some of you guys see it wasn't meant for kids. But let's step out of the way. So. No, don't. No, we're not going to end it just yet. We're going to keep walking, keep waiting for him. Yeah, go ahead and adjust it. Looking at the floor now. No, we're not. I'm going to go back to him. All right. Huh? excuse me would have been nicer, but yeah, whatever. Let's take a look around. Let's spin around really quick. A lot of different artists in this area. I mean, obviously it's Artist Alley. Doing stuff. There's Nerd Mafia, which we met at Pasadena Comic Con. I've still yet to get in touch with them and talk more about things. But there are, huh?
Some guy was standing like right there and he smelled really bad.
Well, that's what it is like. But all right, we're gonna cut out for now, and we'll be back.